through your comments, if you can just let us know if you can hear us clearly. And it is a nice late Sunday evening here in New Delhi from where we join you. So the sun is setting, that's why the yellow light that you can see. But has the sun also set on Wriddhiman Saha's career? That is what we're going to talk about in this particular video. A lot of you had already posted comments that we have seen on our post saying that, oh, these guys will not have the guts to talk about this, and they will not give you the details. But let's try and give you as many details as we can. Okay, so who is the journalist who is there? If you can tell us via your comments, we'll try and take your comments. Study Moto says, hello, Mark War. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, Mark War is Sports Today. We call Sports Today Mark War. Sports Tak is the elder brother in Steve War. So very low sound. Okay, let me try and come a bit closer and then be louder. Prashant is saying, hats off Rahul Rawat ji for speaking on this matter because you put a tweet out, isn't it? Okay, first let us start with who is the journalist? Do you have any idea?
No, actually, I've been receiving a lot of calls. Actually, I was busy yesterday. In fact, after a lot of days, we took a day off.
Yeah.
So in
We're
fact,
still working.
yeah. So I was not there. In fact, we attended the the selection committee press conference, and
Yes.
thereafter I had to meet a few people. So I was not aware of exactly what had happened. But late night I got to know. Then I just I didn't bother to check a lot of things. Then in the morning, I got a few calls. I was a little surprised. Then, we've been flooded with phone calls. I'm sure
Yes, yes.
everybody is now talking about not just, what has happened with Wriddhiman Saha. Of course,
We'll talk about that also.
exactly.
Yeah.
But also, what has happened with him since that South Africa tour, because he's given a few interviews also to Cricinfo
Yes.
also, and he's made a few claims. Those are
First, get to the point. Who is the journalist?
to be very honest, of course, there are a few names that have been doing the rounds. And if you ask me, see,
Piche?
this is as of now. See, Wriddhiman Saha is a Test cricketer.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to respect. We'll have to respect what he's done for the country, what he's as a cricketer. And as of now, it is one man's word against the other.
Right.
But we don't know. Even Wriddhiman Saha has also not spoken out as of who exactly that gentleman or the person or that respected, so-called respected journalist is.
No, but my point firstly is I have gone through that messages few times, and I mean, whoever that person is, I'm not going to take any name because it's not confirmed.
Exactly.
We all have an idea, and I can see through your comments. All of you are also, are in the know of who that person is. I'm only saying that we have an idea, not that I have had any word, but because we are a very small cricketing community, and people that work in the cricket community, whether they are players, whether they are journalists, whether they are PR managers, whether they are marketing managers, it's a small industry. And since morning, like Rahul was saying, he has spoken to a few people. I got a lot of call from a few people. And there was only one man being discussed in all of this because he has also come out and spoken to a lot of people that may be common between us, and he's given his side of the story. But we're not going to get into it because whoever that person is will have to give his side of the story in his platform as and when he decides to come out. So I'm not going to take a name, but judging by your comment, I think everyone knows. Firstly, because a lot of people tagged me, and I'm sure they tagged you as well.
A lot of people.
Saying that, oh, you guys are the one doing it. Then some were joking also, it cannot be these guys because they are respected journalists, and he's written this cannot be respected. Anyway, jokes apart, I take that humor very well. I'm sure you take that humor also
Absolutely.
very well. No issues on that front. But to let you know, it's neither me, it's neither
And I
Rahul.
have and we have our conscience clear
Yeah.
as in
No,
we
we're
have,
coming on record
exactly.
and saying it, right? So at least that is a start. And who it is for that person to come out and say it openly. Now, my point to you is, you're a journalist who's done interview with cricketers. I am a journalist who's done interviews with cricketers over the last, 20 odd years, with many cricketers, big, small, all sorts. Have you ever approached a cricketer like this in a form of actually threatening him? So We also communicate either via phone. I mean, there are three ways of doing the interview, or how I have done it. I'm sure it's the same for you. One, either we send a text message and then the reply comes yes or no or whatever, or via picking up the phone, having a word, then it's yes or no. And the third way is when you meet someone in person, face to face, and you are. And a lot of interviews would have happened over the years, a lot did not happen over the years, which will be the same for everyone. Have you ever in your life asked a cricketer, have you requested for an interview, or have you threatened, like the way that gentleman who sent that message out and Wriddhi has put out, threatened saying, either you do it or you watch out, I'm not going to leave you?
Never. In fact, I'll tell you, I have been associated with this organization for close to 12 years now. And in between, I took a break. In fact, I had gone out to a different organization. Then I came back. So I worked with the print edition of this organization as well. I'll tell you, in fact, a lot of people on the other side of this camera, it's a rule or it's a policy that you can also employ. A lot of people, I'm sure, would be budding journalists, would want to be journalists. I'll tell you, Nikhil, you know what we used to do? We would call somebody. If, for example, I'm doing a story, and it might be against somebody. So it was a basic rule that every year we would receive, from the organization, from the HR department, right from the top. Not so that if you're doing a story, you must call the people, whoever is involved. If he is not answering, if he is not taking your call, leave a text message and then go ahead with your story and put it on record.
And also, that text message, wait for a good 24 or 48 hours, and then you write in your story that we approached, but no comments. No, that is very fair.
And you mentioned if this has happened, I'll tell you.
Have you ever?
I'll tell you. Once it did happen, and. But never, of course, I was not in a position to threaten. In fact, I always think that we are never in a position as journalists.
It's a request.
Exactly. If you need an interview, you need an interview. You don't want an interview. You need
it's not your birthright.
Exactly.
It's not your birthright, and it's not even the player's prerogative to give it. It's up to him whether he wants to speak
or not.
Absolutely.
Because you need an interview. You want it, so you need it. So what happened was, I was in an different organization. I was doing a story. So it was pertaining to a very renowned badminton player. So that particular player was missing from a tournament for some reason. So I was going ahead with the story. I texted that badminton player. I can't even reveal the gender. So I didn't, unfortunately, I didn't receive any confirmation. I tried to call that person. My call went unanswered. Then I left a text message, and then I left a message that I'm going ahead with the story. And that story was on air. That was also a TV broadcast channel. So, but later at around 1 or 2 in the night, I received a message with a response, and then I realized I may have made a mistake. Although it was
that's very minor.
And since then, we've not been in talking terms.
That's okay. Still minor in the sense you asked for that side of the story, they refused. But have you ever?
Never.
That's why I said, ever threatened like a player or a official or an administrator, because we interview all sorts of people involved with the sporting fraternity. Again, I'm repeating, as journalist of having spent like 20 odd years in this profession, having done multiple interviews, I've never threatened anyone. I've always requested. Even if it's a positive story or a negative story, I've only requested. If the person doesn't want to, give the interview, I've never sent a threat. So whoever that journalist is, I think he's overstepped the line on that front. I think everyone will agree. Now my point is, I want to do a counter question. On Wriddhiman Saha's part. See, there are both sides of the story. Once, whoever that journalist is has actually, done a lot of harm to the profession, not only to his image, but to the profession. Correct? But now I'm looking at the other side of the story.
Because Wriddhiman Saha's post says that where is journalism going?
Correct.
So maybe he has generalized everybody.
Now the question is, should Wriddhiman Saha have made a public conversation, private conversation public? If he had, shouldn't he have mentioned the name, is my point. So my thought on that is, it's okay because he felt threatened and he wanted to expose the person, so he's put it out. But if I was in his place, if I reached a state, see, I'm also giving him that benefit of the doubt that he wouldn't have done it on the day this conversation has happened.
Absolutely.
He would have thought about it for many
Yes,
days,
yes,
then
yes.
done it. Agreed.
Yes, yes.
Fair. But when he did it, I would also like him to name the person, because then, see, don't say that, such person has sent me and then leave it like that. If you are aggrieved, if you are hurt, which I think he has all the right to be aggrieved and hurt, nobody has the right to send a message like that, but you should put the name out also, that such and such gentleman has done this to me and I wanted to put on record. Your thoughts?
I think the question, if I understood your question correctly, are you asking that Wriddhiman Saha making that private conversation public,
yes.
was
So-
that right or wrong?
Yeah, and yeah, so like my opinion on that was that if I was him, either I would take that up privately, not put it on a public platform, and complain to the concerned authorities. If that person is working with an organization, then to his organization. If he's an independent person, you are still governed by a board, which is the BCCI. I would have picked up the phone and ensured that some action is taken against him. If not, let's say that road is closed and nothing can
Okay.
happen, right? My next option will be to then make it public, because I don't want someone to bully me like that. Why should anyone bully me? Especially if I'm a test cricketer, right? And who's, played with a lot of pride for the country. I don't deserve this. I'm just saying, I would put that person's name out and also write his name, saying this is the person.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Your
See, I think had it been you, because I don't know how close you are with Saha. Of course, we've had our interactions with Wriddhiman Saha, but how close we are, I don't know. You, me, or anybody, a lot of journalists. So, had it been you, I don't know if you would have done or written something like
Never
this.
in my life.
I'm saying even if you
Never.
had written, I'm saying even if to Saha, I doubt if Saha would have done the same. I'm being very honest. I doubt Saha would have. This has to be somebody whom
Who's been
Saha
continuously troubling him.
continuously troubling him, or Saha knows him. Saha knows him. Wriddhiman Saha knows him very closely. I'm being very honest, because see, a lot of
So if he knows him very closely and he's felt, why
Yes.
not mention his name?
Riddhi. See,
no,
that
the
is
journalist's name. Put
see,
it out.
that is his choice. You never know. Maybe BCCI will take an action. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. See, because in the past we've seen, Nikhil, you also know that journalists have very seasoned senior journalists have been banned by BCCI.
Yes.
Fortunately,
In the Me Too
unfortunately.
movement also, if you remember.
Fortunately or unfortunately, I can't I cannot say whether every time BCCI was right or every time the journalist was right. Fortunately, unfortunately, so there is a precedent. So I don't know. Maybe BCCI might just take an action against the
They
so-called
should. I would want
the
BCCI.
so-called journalists. I don't know because there is one name that is being floated around, and because Wriddhiman Saha has not revealed the name, and if that person is
But everyone knows who the person is.
no, but
At least all our viewers know. They've
are
got
these
the name right.
speculations?
No, it's not. I told you again, because it is the prerogative of that person to come out and say it. I know the name, and why I can't say it is, as I said, it is that person's responsibility to come out and say it. But all I can say is most of our viewers have got it right, bang on. They've got it, and I'll tell you how I know it is because, as I said, it's a small community, right? So the involved person has already called
Made
up a
a
lot
few
of
calls.
and accepted that it's him. He's given his side of the story, and I would again, as I said, that person should come out and then give his side of the
This
story.
question, Kunal Kant is asking you a question: whether you pay for an interview or charge for.
So all interviews are pro bono. You're not paid for. I'll tell you who gets paid and who doesn't. Whenever you're doing interviews with present players, that's a journalistic sort of an interview where you're asking him questions on his performances and how he's been doing, whether it's about his fitness, performances, whatever. They're never paid for. When you get ex-cricketers, in which case mostly as analysts on board, like you see with when they do commentary, right? That is analyzing the game. Then they are paid a compensation because they're sharing their expertise of knowing the game and commenting. And when we also do cricket discussions, hardcore cricket discussion, we also have a lot of in-house experts, as do other platforms do. Then you pay them for that expertise, for being that expert and the analyst. But when you do with a current player about his performance, then they are not paid for. It's always a journalist requesting.
Exactly. A one-off interview is not paid for. And if you have somebody for a longer duration, maybe an annual contract, for example, you have these commentators, these broadcasters, they are all paid for. But yes, as he said, but interviews as such, and a current player, of course, cannot, because he is contracted with the BCCI. So, of course, he cannot.
Yeah.
A lot of people are actually.
Yeah, so I've just missed a lot of comments. Okay, so that's the thing. That was our take on, who the person is. I think, as Rahul was pointing out, some action should be taken against that person.
I'm saying maybe.
No, but I'm saying it should be taken. Whether it happens or not.
It could happen. No,
yeah,
it can
happen.
More scary part is, this is Rahul Basudev. More scary part is that journalist saying to Saha about ensuring a place in 11. If the person is
whom we think we know who he is close to. Rahul, I'll tell you one more thing. Okay, again, I'm telling you this as a cricket journalist who spent considerable amount of time in journalism. Journalist, as much as some of us may get self-obsessed, and we do, based on sometimes popularity, or because of the platform that we work for, or the number of years we've put into a profession, and you become sometimes an household name, or at least a name amongst cricket fans. There could be an ego that comes in, and sometimes we make ourselves believe that we are very important and can influence selection. Unfortunately, the truth couldn't be any further away from that. No journalist that I know, no matter how influential, how experienced, can really influence selections, right? We can talk about it, but I doubt that what Rahul, me, or sometime who Vikrant joins us, we see the game and we comment on it. If I send a message, let's say if a journalist sends a message to a cricketer saying, hey, listen, I can help you get a position in the team, he's lying.
Exactly.
Flat on lying. He cannot do anything. No. I think players are gullible and naive if they believe.
And exactly, a player is in trouble, and somebody, if he asks, if one particular journalist tell him that I'm going to get you out of this trouble. Nobody is going to do anything against you. If one player, you give me an interview, and I'll get you a multi-million dollar
with an IPL team.
An IPL team, a contract, not just IPL contract, a lot of other things.
Yes.
There are so many deals that are hanging around, and you can just show him a player a lollipop, and these are all low-lying, and this actually happens at least not with everybody. And please do not generalize. There are very hard working journalists
I would say 90% and 95% of them are very hard working.
And in this day and age, I think it is a little difficult to influence, a lot difficult to influence the selection. Maybe maybe 30-40 years ago, when journalists, there were very few journalists.
No, even then, Rahul, they could plant a seed in a selector's
that
mind.
You also can do.
Yes,
that I also can do.
But I tell you, now even fans can.
Yes,
if 1,000 fans tweet and put it, and there's a trend, they can. But that's only planting of a seed.
Exactly. The power to influence selection, as far as I am concerned, or Nikhil is concerned, is equivalent to the power that you also have.
Correct.
Our power is actually at par with you people.
Yes.
So,
and we cannot influence selection.
Exactly.
We can plant a seed, based on whatever happened. It's like, can I give you example? I'm just drawing a political parallel.
Sorry.
A news media can make some sort of a narrative. Let's say if I'm a reporter, I'll say this, constituency, this leader is good, this is good. I can plant a seed in the voter's mind. But eventually, I cannot influence him from voting. Eventually, it's going to be his decision. Because he stays at the ground level, he knows whether X guy is good, bad, whatever, he will vote for that. Slight planting of seed, slight narrative can be created. At the end of the day, it's the public that decides. Similarly, I think, and also see, selectors are all former cricketers. They don't need to learn from journalists or fans, who is good, who is not good. Yes, if a lot of talk happens about him, that person comes into the radar, but you cannot decide that he will come. So what happens is, if a journalist sends these messages saying, I will get you in a team or get you removed in the team, that is a load of, I don't want to use the word, but false. Let me just use a more, politically correct word.
And Nikhil, what is more worrying is the fact that the gentleman or the person that we are all talking about is Wriddhiman Saha, a test cricketer, a cricketer, and we all know what the kind of influence a cricketer holds.
How many players have made a debut in the history of the country? Like a handful, right? Who played test cricket. So he's 0.000001% of the population.
And Nikhil, Wriddhiman Saha is a cricketer. The tweet that you were mentioning about, I'm talking about a non-cricketer. You know what the same person
You're saying the first class or
no, I'm talking about non-cricketers. I'm talking about athletes, sports persons.
Yes.
What can happen with them?
Yeah.
They are far more gullible than a cricketer.
They're very vulnerable.
They are, and I know it for a fact. So I'm not specifically talking about Wriddhiman Saha. Whatever he's done, I see. We may have our differences. We may have our opinions.
Yeah.
As in whether because a lot of senior journalists have also called me. In fact, a few. They said that maybe what you were saying, that maybe Wriddhiman Saha shouldn't have. Made public a private conversation with somebody. So, but
made it public with the name. If you are making it public, I'm saying my point was either don't.
No,
or if you do,
that's
write
the
the
point.
name.
That's a point that a lot of people, a few of the senior journalists, now retired, of course, they've mentioned. But maybe it was a reality check, not for Wriddhiman Saha, not for the journalist involved, but for you, me, for a lot of people, for a lot of athletes, a lot of sports person, a lot of cricketers.
Okay, Adarsh has a question and I wanted to address that. Adarsh is saying, because I told you, journalists don't influence selection. So Adarsh Siddhanavar has a question saying, then why do you keep saying we told you so on Sports Today? So let me just give you a perspective. When we say we told you so, we're telling you we reported that. That does not mean that we told the selector what the team should be. What we're saying is that we got to learn from someone once the team is decided that this is what will happen. So we are a messenger. We have learned. We did not dictate. We did not tell the people who are supposed to pick a team or make other decisions that, listen, do this. And then we come and tell you, see, we told you on Sports Today. You're getting that wrong, sir. What we do is, when we get to know before it's made official, sometimes, some news items we get to know before it's made official. Also because, as I said, we're part of that, entire small little family of, how do I say, who cover cricket or who play cricket or administrator. So from that, sometimes you have close links and you get to know something a little bit more and so we come and tell you that, not that we influence.
Achha, Nikhil, this is one question that I would want to take. In fact, if you can answer this one.
Yeah.
Sad to see Ishant's career end this way. Benched for all games in the last series. Pujara and Rahane were given a much longer rope. So, now, can you answer this question?
I want to answer with regards to Wriddhiman Saha. Now tell me, because we're on that, and I'll get to Ishant on Wriddhiman Saha subject. Two things that are coming to my mind. One, do you think the BCCI has been unfair to him because they called him up and said that you may not now be available going forward, and the selectors told him and Rahul Dravid told him, and so a lot of sympathy is also going to Wriddhiman Saha. And as much as I love him as a player, I think that it was perfectly fine for a Rahul Dravid to have done that and the selectors to have done that, because in past instances you've had situation where nothing has been told and you've decided to put him aside and then gone forward. I think that's worse. In this case, it's good. They came out, spoke to him, told him, and see, it's fair. Not everyone is going to get what they like in cricket, right? So you got to be fair. If you've given responsibility to the new captain, selectors, coach, they have a plan in place. When they lose, we blame them. So correct. So let them follow their plans. And if in their plans, Wriddhiman is not there, it's good that they spoke. In fact, I prefer this communication, letting the players know. They let Ishant know as well, rather than doing something like, you're dropped. What is going to happen? He has no idea. That was my thought on where he stands in his career.
Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with Saha. I don't think anybody has been unfair to Wriddhiman Saha. Maybe you have a better wicket-keeper batsman, because gone are the days when you wanted to have a very good or perhaps the best wicket-keeper behind the stumps. You want a wicket-keeper batsman these days, and unfortunately he wasn't making the 11 consistently. Saha also has been plagued by injuries, fitness issues. So team management, selectors, they wanted to move beyond or move ahead of Wriddhiman Saha. Nothing wrong with that. Same is the case with Ishant Sharma also. To be fair, Ishant Sharma, not a lot of players got an opportunity to play 104 test matches. Ishant Sharma has played. So I don't think Ishant Sharma uh, and he hasn't even said anything that he regrets what has happened, that he has been uh, given an unfair treatment or anything, because I don't think there's has anything has been unfair as far as Ishant Sharma is concerned. People as and Pujara and Rahane, let's see. I think
I'll ask you a question now
yeah.
on the Wriddhiman Saha thing. You said, yes, Chandresh is saying, I'm a big fan, Nikhil and Rahul. Please name the journal.
Please read the
Chandresh, please read the comments and you will know. We don't want to do that. But you also know it. You know the answer to it. So stop asking.
I
us.
heard you've been calling a lot of people and confirming that name,
Yes.
Chandresh. That's
Yes.
what we've been hearing.
Yes.
A lot of people have called us, at least, and they've told me that this is what Chandresh is saying. That this is the, and they're trying to confirm. I said I have no idea. It
Okay.
is just that when I landed in the office today that I got to know.
Okay. The question with Wriddhiman is, you're saying that he may have told the BCCI and they'll look to take some action against him. Do you think the fact, because Wriddhiman's already given a few interviews where he's spoken against Saurav Ganguly, who's the BCCI president, saying that,
Against?
yeah, because he said,
Okay, you will consider it as against
yes,
Saurav Ganguly.
because where he's saying that I was told that nothing will happen to me after that 61 that I got versus New Zealand, and then I've been dropped, and after that no communication with the thing. So I am saying, this is, see, if I was a BCCI president also would not go down well with me that you're telling a private conversation there also, right? So I am saying with that in mind, and now he's also kind of spoken against the team management, saying that I was told by Chetan Sharma you will not play again, or by Rahul Dravid.
Consider
Yeah, I'm saying all of this in even if you don't use the word against, it's not showing them in the best of light
Right.
at the moment, right?
And also,
So now will any action be taken? Will he get the support?
who?
Wriddhiman Saha.
I
Because
think,
of these comments is what I'm saying. Will he get a fair hearing? Will he? Will the action be taken against the journalist after Wriddhiman saying this?
Nikhil, you know Wriddhiman Saha, the kind of person he is.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
A soft-spoken man.
Soft-spoken, down
and
to earth, very
down
humble.
to earth, very
Absolutely.
humble.
Yeah.
Doesn't get into any controversy.
Absolutely.
Do you think, as you yourself at the start of this conversation, you mentioned that this chat that Wriddhiman Saha has made public
Yeah.
was not did not happen yesterday, didn't happen day before,
A few days ago.
a few days ago.
Yes.
He must have thought, he must have consulted a few people,
Uh-huh.
and then only he would have done this. That's what I feel.
Could be the powers that be.
Yes.
Certain top
Yeah,
guys. Yeah.
no, maybe within
BCCI?
within a CAB.
The
CAB
Cricket
as in
Association
Cricket Association of Bengal, or people associated with cricket who are close to him, or maybe BCCI. Maybe BCCI.
I love this comment that Indian memes wala is his name. He's saying, "How are you both?" Have you seen how he spelled you
Where?
here?
Oh, what is this? YPU?
That's it. That is the answer. It is the message of the day.
Oh, acha. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I still didn't get it.
I will explain.
Oh, please explain.
I'll explain it to you
Later,
My
later.
phone is not here.
Okay.
But anyone who saw that message will understand it. So yeah, I hope that he gets a fair hearing. And if someone has written that,
I hope this is not taken against Saha also, because Saurav Ganguly.
see now Rahul Kumar is also saying. See how many people are writing you.
That's the new, I think.
Way of writing you.
Yeah, that's how you are going to spell
That is the clue to lock the
Ah.
big mystery.
crime petrol. People are
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes. But yeah, so because see what Saha said in an interview yesterday, that he received a text message from the board president Saurav Ganguly that nothing is happening as long as I am there.
Yeah.
That's the exact sentence that he used.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
after the 61 not out that he scored against
New Zealand.
a match-saving 61 not out, quite a good knock that was. And he said that he received a text message from Saurav Ganguly that don't worry, nothing is going to happen as long as I am there. This is quote unquote Wriddhiman Saha. Now, this statement comes maybe just a week after the controversy that I think you people had started, that Saurav Ganguly has been sitting in the in the selection
You
committee.
people? What do you mean
No,
you
I
people?
thought it was you and huh?
I don't know.
Okay, so that
I never said any. I
that-
asked a question.
no, but if you ask a question, there has to be something in that.
No,
you maybe you knew something,
No, I didn't. know
and
it.
so I'm
I
saying
didn't
that it happened just a week after the controversy that Saurav Ganguly has been sitting in the selection committee meeting, and as per the protocol, there is the board president should not be there in the selection committee meetings. So that also points fingers at the board president. That is he also trying to influence selection?
Yeah.
Can he? I'm just asking.
I don't think. See, again, the BCCI constitution doesn't allow board president to decide who will be the team. He has one veto power in terms of captain. That too, if the selectors have picked some captain and he doesn't agree, then he can overrule them. Happens very rarely, but otherwise he has no role to play. And maybe this actually goes in Saurav Ganguly's favor. That if he had promised him that don't worry, nothing will happen, and he didn't get selected, or they've decided, then goes on to tell you that. If I was Saurav Ganguly, I would use it to my advantage, saying that, see, I can't influence selection. I told him nothing will happen, but selection is up to the selector.
Can the board president show cause Wriddhiman Saha?
Show cause Wriddhiman Saha can for sharing a private conversation. Yeah, I mean, you can.
But that will be a private show cause, no?
Yeah.
So this is a very tricky situation. Now, Palash
is
Swami.
saying-
Oh, I think he's...
No, he's saying just go to Twitter. The journalist's name is trending. And Rahul sir, please check the journalist's tweet. He makes a typo of the word you. Now, can you understand?
But I don't know the name of that journalist. How do I go and
No,
check
you
his
search
Twitter
under
handle?
you and then it will come. Now, it will be trending.
Is YPU also trending?
Yes, must be.
Huh?
You just search it, you will get it.
Huh?
It is. See.
There must be a very influential person. He's been in, because usually what happens, Nikhil,
Yeah.
you would also notice on Twitter, if something is trending, it is for barely maybe an hour, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if what you people, but everybody is saying that that name has been trending since yesterday evening. So must be either people really are very,
I have
very,
to-
very angry.
No, people should be angry. That's not what. That's not how you get an interview, and that's. It reeks of entitlement. It reeks of arrogance.
Yes.
It reeks of being a bully, and that should be dealt with. If I was in the BCCI, I would deal with that, whoever that person is.
Okay, if board senior officials from the board are listening to you,
Sagar is saying, what if that journalist happens to be very close to the BCCI? Will the BCCI still take action? I think so. Firstly, again, don't go by these rumors that one person is close to the BCCI and all. It's all sometime, everyone is as close to the BCCI or not as close to the BCCI as the other person. But some people may, come up and show probably that they're much closer. Others are also. And I think for a BCCI, a player is far more important than a journalist, and it's not even a question of who's important. They need to take the right decision. So you would know who's right and who's wrong in this.
Yash is saying Rahul Rawat तुम्हें भी पता है वो कौन है? यार Yash, I'll tell you what.
You're playing very bhola, by the way.
What is this
Acting
front
of
stage?
being-
Acha. So Yash, see, this is a name that has been doing the rounds.
See, people are asking you a question.
I
Would you want
cannot
to answer this
say it
question?
with-
Prashant is asking, how was your experience in Tokyo? Maybe you can make a
Prashant,
video later.
very good experience.
You can make a video on Tokyo experience later.
Yes. I hope there is no.
No, a lot of people keep asking.
Okay, I thought
covered.
maybe.
That you
Avesh
covered
Khan has
the
been
Olympics.
handed his debut cap. All right, what we are going to do
Chalo,
is
let's
we're going to
wrap up.
wrap this up and
Be back very soon with the toss updates. Playing 11.
exactly 6:30. We'll have the toss update and
32.
And the
Playing
team
11.
playing 11. We are expecting a lot of changes.
See you. Bye.